You are live. You are live. You are live. Yes, you are. Shh. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I said to myself, what a wonderful world. Wah, 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 wah. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I said to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I said to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Hey, good evening. I'm Ethan. This is the nosho. Yeah, that was scary. Wow. Thanks, Neurogeezer. Oh boy, that was a first crack. I decided, you know what? I opened up the book. I saw that song. I love that song. It's hard not to love that song. Never tried it before. Needs a little work. But anyway, here we are. We are on a slightly different format today for the first time. I'm on StreamYard as usual, but I'm doing it from my computer instead of from my phone. So, I hope the quality is good. I don't know. It seems to be working. Howdy, y'all. Hey, Alton Gillespie. Oh, my God. What a great name. Warren Rubin. Yes, vote blue. And on the subject of voting blue, here's my blue cup, which was a bit of swag from Movement Voter Project. Please check out Movement Voter Project. Turn your head 90 degrees so you can read this. Movement Voter Project. That's movement.vote. www.movement.vote. They're doing critical work to save our country and save the planet. I'm Ethan. This is the nosho. The nosho happening tonight from a location. I'm going to explain to you why I'm in this location. Pow. By the way, anyone a fan of Batman? That series, when I was a kid, I loved Batman. I loved Adam West. I loved the whole thing. It was bizarre. It was clearly, even as a kid, you had a sense that it was camp. Even if you don't know what camp is, it was campy. Loved that show. What's up? Say that shit in my face. What's up, Dave? Is it happening? I think it is. I think we're live on Instagram. Yeah, now I'm on Instagram too. Here we go. Hey, y'all. I'm going to try this again. I appreciate your indulge me while I give this a second try. I'll do a shortened version, but I want to give it a biff, baff, boom. Oh, it got totally wonky and out of tune there also. I didn't think that was my singing. Here, let's tune this up together. Ooh, that's what happened. Yikes. Oy vey, that A string fell totally out of whack. So that last chord, that G7 flat 9 was. Who doesn't love the sound of someone tuning something? No, please, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Rubs Troll, please do me a favor. Email me that song suggestion. I'll review it in the comments also, but I'm loving the song suggestion box. The song suggestion box has just been really fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. I've gotten such, oh, Neurogeezer, that's what you heard. You thought I was playing jazz. That A string, I don't know what happened to it. Someone put a hex on it. Let's blame the eclipse. I think the eclipse had something to do with what was going on with that A string. I'm just going to give this one verse. Here we go. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I said, it's not I said to myself, I think to myself, hello. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I think to myself, the dog is shaking it out. Everybody shake it out. What a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow. By the way, I'm in Maine. I am in Maine in a hotel. Here's what happened. I got up. That's really funny. Alton asks, does your uke have a whammy bar? That detunes them every time. Okay, I got to get a whammy bar installed. This song is so appropriate. It's so apropos. It's so appropriate because I was up in the far northeast reaches of Maine today with my sister watching. We got a great view of the full banana. Hey, I'm just checking Instagram. Hey, Mary. I'm more over on YouTube, so please come over to YouTube. But hey, Mom, I'm in both places tonight, but I can really only focus since I'm on one device. Anyhow, come over to YouTube. Come on in. The water's fine. Speaking of the waters being fine, we got up to this beautiful town called Greenville. Now, interestingly, weirdly, not totally coincidentally, but in 2017, my sister and my mom, they went to see the eclipse, and they went to Greenville, South Carolina. And today, my sister and I went to Greenville, Maine. We were in Thoreau Park, because Thoreau, it turns out, Thoreau wrote a bunch of essays that were published in various magazines a little less than 200 years ago about his travels in Maine, and then they were published together in a book. So Moosehead Lake, on the southern tip of Moosehead Lake, in Greenville, Maine, we watched the full apocalypse. That's what it was, right? The apocalypse today. Welcome everybody to the afterlife. I have my flaming apocalypse. Anyway, I just noticed this song really jumped out at me today, but now I see the lyrics are very much about gazing at the sky and appreciating the majesty and the beauty of the planet. Look, life is not easy. What's up, Rafi? Hey, Rafi. Hey, Richard. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mary. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Rafi, oh my God, you got the pun gene. My nephew Rafi is tuned in, and he got the pun gene. And you got it bad. You got a bad case. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's funny. I was a proctor at Harvard Summer School in the summer of '89, and one of my students. So I was like 20. I was 20. And one of the high school students, I was a proctor for these high school students get to do like 6 weeks and take college level classes. So one of my students was then applying to the college, and I wrote him a recommendation. And to my deep and unmitigated shame, all these years later, I wrote this kid a recommendation, very nice kid. In the recommendation, I misspelled Thoreau. Yeah, Rafi reminded me when you said you thoroughly enjoyed it. I put an extra U in there in a recommendation letter. He didn't get in. I don't think it was my fault, but who the hell knows? So, oh, that's Life Bowls. I got that sticker the other day in Madison, Connecticut. They made me a delicious smoothie. If you go to Life Bowls in Madison, Connecticut, get the Popeye. Oh my God, it was delicious. Movement Voter Project, movement.vote. Please check them out. MVP. So yeah, the apocalypse. We went up there to Thoreau Park. My sister picked the destination. It was perfect. And there was a lake. We're at the bottom of the lake. And before the eclipse, I went for a nice swim. And there was a nice little skein of ice over it. So I got to swim in the ice water for 4 minutes. And my fingertips, I mean, I think that this was colder water than I've ever had the pleasure of swimming in. I'll tell you why I think that. Because my sister videotaped it, so we know exactly how long I was in the water, which was 4 minutes. I was not in there long, but I've been in the frozen pond in Truro in Massachusetts, but I usually will wear the neoprene mittens and booties in the super cold. But I went in, so it felt, when I got out after 4 minutes, my hands like, woo, what was that? They're all better now, but dang. But it was fun. It was beautiful. And the eclipse is crazy. Richard, hey, Richard. Richard says coffee is better. What is coffee better than? I don't even remember what I was talking about. A smoothie? Coffee's better than a smoothie? Oh, Lake Tahoe. Very nice. Yeah, I was in Lake Tahoe in August once, 30-something years ago. Beautiful place. No, the water was around 32. It really was wicked cold today, but it was beautiful. Anyway, this song jumped out at me. And in this middle section, in the bridge, there's so much material in this song about gazing at the sky and appreciating the beauty. So, like I was saying, the world is kind of on fire. The politics in our country, disaster. The world is literally on fire because of ExxonMobil and because we don't have the political will to make the changes that we know have to be made. We have too much of the world, and especially in our country, too many people who just are willing to say, oh no, science, nah, we don't believe in that. It's not a matter of belief. It just is. And so we're on fire. So here's a song about just in the midst of that, just stop and look at the sky. It's incredible. But if you're going to look at the sky and there happens to be an eclipse, actually, if you're going to look at the sun ever, you got to wear those glasses. That's the thing. It turns out that the eclipse doesn't confer any special properties on those sun rays. There's no special refractory thing that happens that makes them more damaging. It's just that in the moment of an eclipse, that's when people would spend time looking at it. Z, aloha, and correct. Z points out, political will is extinguished with cold hard cash. That says it all. And it was that Citizens United insane ruling about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that said corporations are people, so they can give as much money as they want. Oy vey. Anyway, yes, Batman. Batman. Why don't I know how to play that I got to learn that. Okay, let's get back into these lyrics here. And then I promise I will deliver some coherence to my show tonight. It's a little incoherent at the moment. That's funny. Neurogeezer says, so that's why my eclipse grade suntan lotion isn't selling. Good one. Hope your auditions are going well. Grow that beard. Thank you, Richard. Yes, I'm pulling on the beard daily. That's why I got in that frozen water in Maine today. It's supposed to help miracle grow your beard. Okay. Middle section. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? There is saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I didn't know the babies cry verse. I hear babies cry. It takes a lot of magnanimity and generosity of spirit to hear a baby cry and react with with such a warm feeling for humanity. In fact, I think that the cry of a baby was honed through about 1 million years of evolution to be blood curdling and to make the small hairs on the back of your neck stand up. So this guy's a saint. The narrator of this song is a saint. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. I hear babies cry. In the next row. That's on a flight. You got a crying baby. No, that's not the lyrics. I hear babies cry. Why doesn't it babies coo? You know what I mean? Then a baby cooing, that's a sound that could provoke a feeling of love for humanity. Porumbescu. Do you know any song written by Ciprian Porumbescu? Ada, thank you for that question. It sounds like a Romanian guy, and I would love to learn a song. I will look that up. I would love to sing in Romanian. My family, my father's father's father, draw a chart of that so you know what I'm talking about. My father's father's father came from Romania to the US in around 1893. So we have some Romanian sort of origins. Z, I like your lyric. I hear babies cry. I turn around. Yeah, and I say, seriously, bro, come on, this is an 8-hour flight. Deal with it. Okay, anyway. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think, no, that's not the chord, sorry. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All right, well, I didn't do it justice. My apologies to Satchmo. Apologies to the words and music are by George David Weiss and Bob Thiele or Bob Thiele. 1967. Oh, that's interesting. I would have put that song in the mid to late 50s. That song is 1967. All right, cool. All right, what did I want to say? Oh, my God. Iris, bruchim habayim. Masa al khair. Bonsoir a tutti. Hello, everybody. Hey, Dawn. I'm just checking out who's here on Instagram. Bienvenidos a Instagram. If you want to come over, por favor, vengan over to, vengan a YouTube. Oh, Sea Spray. I see what you're saying. I think, Leslie, you're referring to, I'm in a hotel. We're in a, I didn't know what was going on. The traffic coming back from the zone of totality. Welcome to the zone of totality. Or the path. You've now entered the path of totality. Everything is dark, but only for 3 minutes. So don't make a big whoop about it. Just relax. Get totally relaxed. It's the path of totality. Be totally relaxed. Be totally cool. Be totally there. Be totally present. It's the path of totality. That's the new cult. That's perfect. I'm just going to start a cult that's called the Path of Totality. And what the Path of Totality is, of course, in the context of the eclipse, it's the spot where it's completely dark during that full eclipse. But in my cult, the Path of Totality it's a simple process I guide you through for 7 easy payments I decide on the spot because I'm inspired. It's a path to being totally there no matter what you're doing. It's the path of totality. Any step you take, even if you're pumping gas, you're totally pumping gas. If you're eating some hummus, you're totally eating that hummus. You're taking the pita and you're really scooping it up. You're scooping it deep with some olive oil, and you're totally tasting it, and you're totally swallowing it, and you're totally digesting it. It's the path of totality. Please contact me for details about my cult. This is my show. Welcome to the show. Oh, Mila says Baba Ramdas already did that. Hey, man, everything's already been done. You just got to slap a new name on it. Slap a new label on it and sell it. Back in the 70s, my mom got into the jeans business. How everyone was in jeans, like genetic engineering and genetic splicing and creating a sheep out of just a lamb chop, that whole thing. No, not that kind of jeans. It was back in the days of Sassoon and Gloria Vanderbilt and Jordache. So my mom, whose dad was in the schmata business, he was a garmento. My mom was then in that business, and then she was suddenly in the jeans business. There were guys at that time, and I know this because in our garage, we had boxes with this merchandise. We had product in our garage at our house. Jeans that had on the button of the jean, at the top of the fly, on the button of the jean, there was a cover on the button, a blank cover on the button, which you could then take off, revealing what the brand was. I think that this was a bit of a shady maneuver to avoid customs. I don't know. Neuro, yes. MacGyver could create a sheep just from a paperclip and a matchbook cover. Yes. And a wool sweater. That's the other thing he would need. Da, 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 da. Schmata, schmata. Schmata blues, the schmata blues. Schmata, the schmata blues, the schmata blues. Okay. Yes, the schmata business. So a schmata, who's just mentioned that? Anne says schmata. The first time she heard the word was on the Larry David show. Okay, Larry David, the king of all, the king of it all, the king of comedy. We all bow to him. Or we should. Yeah, a schmata in Yiddish, it just means a rag. It's a rag. So it's a self-deprecating way to refer to yourself if you work in the clothing business. You say you're in the rag business. So Oh, there was Mr. Green Jeans on Captain Kangaroo that rings such a faint bell. Also from the era of the late 60s, short-lived Batman TV series. That thing ran for such a few number of episodes. It's shocking. You look it up, it ran for like one season or maybe 2 seasons, but it made such an impression. Pow. So I'm in a hotel, and I decided I have to decorate the set. Otherwise, this is what the show was going to look like tonight. So I took the pillow. I could have taken this one also. No, it clashes. The yellows clash. Anyway. So I was in Greenville watching the eclipse, drove back, and I thought I was going back to Boston tonight, but there's so much traffic on the way back, as you would expect. And I'm one of those people, I'm not agoraphobic. I don't have a fear of the marketplace or the outdoors or crowds of people. I don't have that fear, but I have an impatience with it. So I stopped. I really don't go with any frequency to like an arena event. That moment, like at the end of a Knicks game, when you're then in the crowd going down the escalators, leaving Madison Square Garden, to me, it's a mournful, horrific feeling being part of that exodus crowd. I guess that's why I don't like Passover either. That whole holiday about just trudging in a big group. I don't like groups. I want a solo holiday. I don't know what a solo holiday is, but give it to me. So anyway, but it was totally worth it. My sister and I had a really good time, and I'll share some photos somehow when I figure out how to do that. And so the drive up there was real quick, but I woke up. I want to tell you this story. I don't think this is normally my structure. It's unstructured. This show is called the Nosho. No show, no structure. I set my alarm this morning in Brooklyn, New York for 3 a.m. And I set a second alarm for 3:04 a.m. because I wanted to miss any potential northbound eclipse chasing traffic. The alarm was set for 3 a.m. I woke up at 2:58 a.m. I was on the road with the dogs by 3:30. Made it to Portland, Maine, where I am right now. Met my sister, and then we drove another bunch of hours up to Greenville, Maine, into the path of totality. Please ask me about the brochure for my path of totality cult, where I will teach you in just a few easy, brief, very expensive lessons how to be totally there for whatever activity you're doing. Even if you're disputing a parking ticket, you will be totally there. You still won't get out of the ticket, but you will be totally there. And then your frustration about not getting out of the ticket, because in fact you were parked legally, but your photos can't prove it, you will be totally there for the frustration. The path of totality. Anyhow, there we were in the path of totality. We were snacking, we were meeting people. I had a nice swim, we had a lot of photos. And then when you head out of there, it's like being on the escalator leaving a Knicks game, except it stretches on for miles. So it took us many hours to get back. I thought I was going back to Boston tonight and that I was going to do the show in my sister's library in her house with a background similar to my place in Brooklyn, a nice background, only a whole new set of books tonight. But we got here just in the nick of time for me to check into a hotel and start up the show. So she drove to Boston, and I'm here with the doggies. So anyway, that's what's happening. Z, special offer. Z in Hawaii asks how much to join the cult. For you, on the house. Just join. Just join. You know, we'll get a little momentum going. Then I can jack up the prices. You know how cult, that's how a cult works. Mila asks, that's a good one. Has your fear of Al Gore been diagnosed as agoraphobia. I would rewrite that joke and say, has your fear of global warming turned into agoraphobia? Maybe I would do something like that. Oh, Rafi says, I know that library. It's a good one. Yeah, it would be a good set. Oh, Mary asks, where are the dogs? I will give the dogs a cameo here in the hotel room before the. Oh no, Mila, I was not correcting your joke at all. I liked your joke. I was just trying to enhance it. I was just trying to put little sprinkles on that delicious sundae of a joke. All right. Oh, so when I checked into the hotel, because time was short, this is what I said. Tell me on a scale, please in the comments, tell me on a scale of 1 to, let's make it easy. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is extremely sketchy and 1 is wholesome. So 10 is extremely sketchy. Tell me how sketchy this sounds to you. I was checking into the hotel. I was in a bit of a rush so that I could get upstairs and make sure I have internet and start the show. And I said to the person behind the desk who was checking me in, mind you, I have 2 dogs with me and a bag. It's not clear what's in it, except you can see a ukulele or a case that might have an instrument in it. And I said, yeah, I got to get upstairs. I have a show starting at 9. I do a show every night on YouTube. It's at 9. I got to make sure I have really good internet. Checking alone into a hotel, saying that. I feel like, how sketchy was that on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay. Ada asks, what Romanian city did your ancestors live? Well, there's various things I've heard, but one of them was called Yash or Yasi. You can see Yash or Yasi on the map. But then I also heard Carpathian Mountains or, oh, that's so nice of you, 16 Tone Studios, to tell me that. That was only a 2 of sketchiness. Richard says it was a solid 7. Yeah, I think it was more of a 7. Okay. Another song. When I fall in love, it will be forever, or I'll never fall in love. Love is ended before it's begun, and too many moonlight kisses seem to cool in the warmth of the sun. When I give my heart, it will be completely, or I'll never give my heart. And the moment I can feel that, you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you. I want to just take a moment and point out that at the end he says, and the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you. Is that the love? Is that the paradigm of love? When he feels that she feels that way too, that's when he it seems kind of convoluted. His love seems contingent on her love. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you. I don't know. It just seems like You're either falling in love with someone or you're not. You're not falling in love with them because they're falling in love with you. Although maybe that's healthy, where it's not an unrequited thing, but it's not unrequited. In this case, it's symbiotic. Oh man, codependent. I thought you wrote so dependent, Candy, but yeah, codependent. It is a little codependent. If you don't feel I don't love you, feel again. If you feel I don't love you, feel again. I don't understand what that means, but I like the idea that this person's like, it's, you know what this is? This seems like the inverse of you can't fire me, I fired you. You can't fire me, I fired you. And the moment the moment I can feel that you feel that way too is when I fall in love with you. I don't know. I'm not exactly trusting this guy. Okay, let's talk about this song a little bit more seriously for a moment. It's written by Victor Young. Victor Young wrote the music. The words are by Edward Heyman. Everybody twist your groggers. Edward Heyman. That's a Scroll of Esther reference. Yes, Richard says, afraid of being hurt, protective, yes. His love is contingent on her love being like his, that she wants it to be serious and true as he wants it to be serious and true. Yeah, it's sort of like kind of climbing that staircase of love together, and I'll only take one more step if you take one more step. So Mary points out that symbiosis like a parasite on an animal. Very nice. Although that symbiotic? A parasite? I like those pilot fish. That is some symbiotic because the pilot fish eats something off the back of the shark, and the pilot fish gets a lift downtown in return. But is parasite also mutual? I don't know. Anyhow, I know that song because I listened to Nat King Cole, and Nat King Cole, I was talking to Rafi about this the other day. Nat King Cole. Fuad, hello, welcome. Masa al khair, bonsoir, guten Abend. I forgot how to say it in Persian, but yes, I was talking about who has the smoothest voice. So Nat King Cole's smoothest voice, but then Mel Torme, possibly even smoother. I think he was known as the Velvet. Was it the Velvet Fox or the Velvet Fog? I can't remember, but he was Velvet something. Neurogeezer says parasitism is the opposite of symbiosis. Is it, or is it just half of symbiosis? The way that a lemma is just half of a dilemma. I don't know. By the way, please answer the poll. I don't have a poll, but a poll that I would like to, if I could do polls, I would have a poll that would be, if you cut a bagel in half horizontally, do you eat the bottom half or do you eat the top half? Something to think about. Less of a dilemma if it's a plain bagel, but still. Symbiosis. Oh, Z asks poll. Yeah, there should be a poll. I can't do polls yet, but eat both halves. That's good. So cut it vertically. Just eat the whole thing. Oh, interesting. Mary asks, is my dad Neurogeezer? That's funny. No, that's not my dad's code name. Neurogeezer, what Mary meant was, is Neurogeezer the screen name for my dad, who is in the brain business? Who was a frequent, we did a segment together for a long time on David Feldman's show. So he's in the neurology adjacent field. All right, that's the show. I think. So you're giving a serious answer. So Rafi, my brilliant nephew, explains mutualistic. So symbiosis has three subdivisions: mutualistic relationships, parasitic relationships, and commensalistic relationships. You know what? I'm gonna have to look that up. It's either correct and it's true because you've studied science, or you got the bubomyces malarkey gene. Like you got the punning gene. Okay, I'm going to close with a song. Well, I'm going to close with the song, the outro song, if I can find it. Did I bring my I don't know. I got to find that piece of paper. But I'll make it up. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, did I make that all up? That's what I'm saying. I thought you did. No, Neuro Geezer, I think that Rafi was just making that up. I think that was bubomyces or malarkey or BS, as we call it. Yeah. All right. What did I want to do? Oh, page 82. Let's see what that is. What happens before the show, I go through my stuff and I say, oh, that would be a nice song to sing. And I write down the page number. And by the time the show starts, I don't know what the number means, but I look it up and then I'm surprised. Oh, this is a ridiculous fun song. Five foot two, eyes of blue, but what those 5 foot could do, has anybody seen my gal? Turned up nose, turned down hose. Turned down hose. That's like NC-17. Turned up nose, turned down hose. Never had no other bows. Has anybody seen my gal? Now, if you run into a 5 foot two, covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. So if she's got diamond rings and furs, it's not her. She's more basic. But could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Has anybody seen my gal? 5 foot two, eyes of blue, but oh, what those 5 foot could do, has anybody seen my gal? He's kind of objectifying her. Can we just be honest here? He's telling her, he's saying her. By the way, why did this guy lose his girl? What's going on? And I don't know. I feel like this relationship is not on solid footing. Yes, basic. Shout out to basic, absolutely. But the important thing to note about this gal in this song is that she could woo and she could coo. Could she woo? Could she coo? Could she coo? Yeah, she could coo. Has anybody seen my gal? Now, if you run into a 5 foot two, covered with fur, diamond rings and all those things, bet your life it isn't her. But could she love? Could she woo? Could she coo? Anybody seen my gal? All right, this guy's lost his woman. All right. She's off cooing somewhere. Yeah, she's cooing someone else. All right. Me. Okay, here we're going to close the show as usual with Irving Berlin, 1925, always, because I'm always here at 9 p.m. every night, or 3 p.m. in Hawaii, noon in Sydney, Australia. Good night if anyone's heading off to dreamland already. Good night. If anyone's somewhere else, like if it's 4 a.m. in Stockholm and you're waking up, good morning. I'll be loving be loving you always. Oh, I'm in between keys again because I wrote out some different chords. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. Okay, let's see if I can get some chords going here. I'm a little punch drunk. I've been up since 3 a.m. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day. Every night at 9, I'm here always. Always. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back in a normal location, a location that you know. Please look out for Movement Voter Project, and please give them $1 if you can spare it. Movement Voter Project. Go to movement.vote. www.movement.vote. All right. Yeah. Always, I'm here every night at 9 East. Sleep well, y'all. Thanks very much. And thanks for the well wishes for my trip south. Bye.